There's a kind of pain that doesn't scream. It lingers quietly. It reshapes your insides. It cracks open who you thought you were, so something deeper can emerge. We fear this kind of pain. We numb it, avoid it, hide it. But what if I told you it's not your enemy? What if suffering is the fire that forges your soul? This is the hidden philosophy behind emotional alchemy. Not just surviving your pain, but using it to transmute yourself, to burn away illusions, to uncover the gold buried beneath the ash. This isn't self-help. This is ancient wisdom, cloaked in shadow. Let's dive into it. The alchemists believed that in order to create gold, you had to first dissolve the original substance, break it down, corrupt it even. And the same is true of the psyche. Carl Jung wrote that only the wounded physician heals. In other words, only the broken can truly transform, not in spite of their suffering, but because of it. You cannot polish a mirror while it's still covered in the dust of who you pretend to be. Pain strips that away. It's merciless, yes, but honest. And in its honesty, it forces us to confront who we really are underneath the masks. There are truths that only grief can reveal. There are strengths that only despair can awaken. There is a kind of wisdom that only comes when everything else has been taken away. In mythology, this is known as the descent. In Christianity, the dark night of the soul. In psychology, the breakdown before the breakthrough. But it's all the same pattern. You fall apart. You descend into the underworld. You meet the monster, which is often just your reflection in the void. And then, if you're willing, you don't come back the same. You come back reforged. Think about it. The blade isn't sharp until it's been hammered. The diamond isn't pure until it's been pressured. The soul isn't deep until it's been cracked open. Our culture tells us that pain is a flaw, that if you're suffering, you're broken. But the truth is far more sacred. You're not broken. You're becoming. Nietzsche once said, "One must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star." Why chaos? Because order is safe. It's clean. But transformation is messy, chaotic. It requires letting go of what you were, so you can become what you're meant to be. And that process hurts. You will question everything. You will mourn versions of yourself you didn't even know you were attached to. You will feel lost. And yet, it is in the very act of being lost that your compass is born. There is an alchemy to suffering, not the kind that makes it go away, but the kind that makes it sacred, the kind that turns wounds into wisdom, grief into grace, chaos into clarity. And here's the paradox. The more you resist the pain, the longer it rules you. But the moment you surrender, not give up, but surrender with awareness, you take your power back. You become the alchemist. But alchemy requires patience. It's not an instant transformation. It's a slow burn. And during that burn, you will be tempted to go back to what's familiar, to your old identity, to old distractions, to numbing instead of feeling. Don't. Hold the tension. Hold the heat. The longer you stay in the fire, the more your true shape begins to emerge. This isn't about perfection. It's about authenticity. It's about becoming so honest with yourself that there's nothing left to hide behind. No more masks. No more pretending to be okay when you're not. Because when you stop performing, you start transforming. And this is something the ancient mystics understood. In Sufism, they speak of the annihilation of the self. Not death, but ego death. The falling away of all that is false. And after that, union, peace. Not the peace that comes from escaping life, but the kind that comes from finally being real within it. But getting there requires courage, not the loud kind, but the quiet kind. The kind of courage it takes to sit in silence with your own soul, to face what you've buried, to feel the ache without turning away. Because it's in that stillness, in the rawness of that moment, that your next self begins to take shape. So if you are in pain right now, don't rush to escape it. Sit with it. Listen to it. Ask yourself, what part of me is dying? So that something wiser can be born. This is not the end of you. This is your becoming. The fire that's consuming you is also the fire that's freeing you. You are not lost. You are in the middle of the transformation. And just maybe, The life you're searching for is waiting for the version of you that's on the other side of this pain. Stay curious, stay awake, and never stop transforming.
If this made you pause, if you're drawn to deeper truths and quiet strength, then you're in the right place. Like, subscribe, and keep exploring with us. See you in the next one.